Age 29, how keen are you to make the most of this finals campaign?
Oh, very keen. Obviously the last 2 years we haven't played finals footy. 5 years previous to that we played each year and things didn't go our way. So hopefully this time around it's a different story.
What's different this time, do you think?
Well, it's a good question. As I said, it's been a couple of years since we've played and we've definitely improved a lot as a group over those 2 years. A lot of fresh faces in the club. A lot of boys have got more experience, played a lot more footy together, so I think that'll hold us in good stead.
Is this side better than the one that played finals in 2009?
Another good question, mate. It's very hard to compare. To look back at 09, we had a great opportunity to go further than what we did. We fell short against Collingwood. This time round, we've given ourselves the best opportunity to go, all the way if we're good enough. We've got 2 home finals now, so the ball's in our court as to what happens.
Tomo, that loss against Collingwood, do you remember the feeling, the thoughts going through your mind when that siren went?
Yep. Yeah, it wasn't a nice feeling. Looking back on that game, it's one we definitely should have won. Can't change that now, and a few years have gone past since then, and a lot of fresh faces in the side. A lot of boys played a lot more footy than they had back then, so a bit more experience, but in saying that, we've still got a lot of youth in the side. There's going to be a number of boys on Saturday play the first final, but it's definitely exciting. The boys are really looking forward to it.
When things get tight and tough, as I'm sure they will at some stage on Saturday, does that memory, that pain, is that something that you can use as motivator at all? Is it just history?
No, we won't be looking at other finals going into this weekend, not at all.
Craigie obviously didn't have the best finals coaching record. Do you feel more confident under Sanderson, who's had heaps at Geelong, even though not as a senior coach?
Well, he's come from a very successful background, there's no doubt about that. But, finals are a different ballgame altogether. You mentioned Craigie. Things didn't go the way we wanted to when he was here with some of the finals we played, but we can't change that now. We can't even think about that now. We've got the opportunity now on Saturday to play against a very good Swan side on our home deck and hopefully come away with a win and set ourselves up with a home prelim.
So what's the mentality the group takes into this game? How do you approach it?
Oh, the boys are very confident. We're 17-5. You go back to the start of the year, go back to NAB Cup, we won that. So that's 5 games, I think. So we've won 22 and lost 5 during the season. So there's a lot of belief within the group. The boys are very confident with what we've done so far this season. But at the same time, now finals are a different ball game altogether. So that counts for nothing. But there's definitely that confidence and belief within the group that we are good enough to match any of the top 8 sides now.
Sando said yesterday that game that you basically almost stole from Sydney up at the SCG earlier this year. You weren't playing that well, basically, in that game. You've improved a lot since then. What are those areas where you think you have gotten better as a team, as a unit?
Oh, every key indicator that we look at, I think, as a team we've improved in since then. I think looking back on that game, it must have been about round 5-ish. We started the game well for memory, and then they got on top of us in a number of areas, and we were good enough in the end to come away with a 5-point win, but that's a long time ago now. A lot's happened since then, and I think right across the whole ground and those key performance indicators that we look at have really gone in the right direction for us.
Do you feel like the team's cherry ripe? Obviously you were your best players available. Could you be heading into finals and better, Nick?
Probably not. We've got a full list to choose from now. There's going to be selection pressure, there's no doubt about that. There will no doubt be a few disappointed boys that miss out on the weekend with a couple of key players that are fit to go this week. But it's a good position to be in. There's healthy internal competition, and going into a final series, that's exactly what you need.
Scotty, as the senior head in the midfield there, do you take it upon yourself to have a role to make sure, like Sloane, Dangerfield, those guys don't get caught up in the situation?
Oh, they're both young fellas, but they've got mature heads on their body. I'm sure they'll be fine, but in saying that, yeah, I am one of the older guys in the midfield. But look, all we've got to do is everyone knows their role. If everyone goes out and plays their role, I'm sure we'll be good enough to win the game.
Just following on from that, Sando mentioned yesterday that he wasn't a big game player himself. He struggled in those sort of let the occasion get to him. What sort of detail did he go into, and what sort of advice did he say?
He didn't go into great detail, to be honest. Everyone handles finals differently. I mean, the pressure goes up. There's a lot more media. Everyone wants to talk about the game. You got pressure from outside, people asking for tickets and those types of things. So there's a lot that happens during the week that wouldn't happen during the normal season, but and everyone handles it differently. Like I said, some blokes don't want to talk about the game. Other blokes love talking about the game and can't wait to get out there. But yeah, everyone's approach is different, and I mean, I can't speak on behalf of the other blokes, but I'm really excited, looking forward to the game, and can't wait to get out there myself.
You buy into it then? You soak it up a bit?
Yeah, absolutely. I love talking about it.
Has
Love
anyone,
talking about where we might finish up.
has anyone sought you out to talk about any worries they had about the game?
Not at this stage. It's still early in the week, but we'll have everyone cherry ripe by Saturday.
That midfield battle, obviously, contested position, Kings, yourself, Danger, Sloaney versus Kennedy, Jack, O'Keefe, etc. How much will that decide the game, and how much are you looking forward to that? Because obviously they're best two in the competition.
Yeah, it's going to be a great challenge. You mentioned their contested ball. They've got a lot of big bodies that roll through their midfield, some outstanding players that have had very good seasons, and I think it's not only their contested ball that we need to worry about. They're very good on the outside as well with their loose ball, and they've got some leg speed on the outside in Jeddah and Hanbury and these types, Reece Shaw, that can link up and really break the lines for them. So I think we need to match them inside and outside if we're going to win the game on Saturday. They've had a great year, the Swans, and you know, I think if we get it together on the weekend, we're more than good enough to beat them.
Do you reckon Caroline Wilson's a good footy judge?
No idea of what she written.
Last night she was frankly quite rudely, completely dismissive of Adelaide as a premiership chance.
Everyone's entitled to their opinion, aren't they?
Regardless of whether you agree with her or not, she's a pretty loud voice, particularly in Melbourne. Do you think you're not getting the respect you deserve from the sport?
Oh, could not care less, mate. Could not care less what anyone said. Couldn't care if anyone in this room didn't rate us. I think, as I said before, we've got great belief with what we think we can do, and if we can go and do that, the results will speak for itself.
Scotty, why will this be different to some of the other finals campaigns we haven't actually quite reached this summer?
Why will it be different?
Yeah, why do you think it'll be different this year?
Gee. Why will it be different? I don't know. I think we're very confident, as I said there. We've got great belief with what we can do. A lot of fresh faces. Everyone loves to talk about what's happened in the past, and I think as a playing group, we couldn't care less now what's happened. We can't change that. We're very excited with what Saturday holds, and if we go out there and do what we've done for most of the season and stick to everyone playing their role, we're definitely good enough to win the game, and there's great excitement within the group, and we're looking forward to the challenge.
I know you're reluctant to talk about your own game so much, so that you probably will shy away from this, but the form you showed this season, I mean, is that just an evolution of, you know, you've been in the system a while, you've been fitter this year, or is it just because you've got more support in the midfield? Just talk us through that.
Yeah, I don't really want to talk about it, to be honest, you're right. But no, I think you look right across the team, and the biggest step forward we've taken this year, we've got a lot of players that have played consistent footy, and if you got that right across the field, results are going to fall your way. And I think that's the biggest improvement we've had as a side. We've got weighted numbers every week. We've got, you know, at least a dozen blokes or more, you know, playing really good roles for the team. And if that's happening every week, you're going to win more games than you lose, and it's proven that way.
How about your Brownlow chances? You're right up there in the betting. How do you rate them this year?
Save your money.
Is this your best season though, personally?
I always find it really hard to compare seasons. Every game's different. Every game throws up different challenges. But I think looking back on the minor round, I've had a consistent season, and looking forward to the finals.
How about betting on Dangerfield? Where you met?
He's had a good year, very good year, hasn't he? He's are you allowed to bet, you blokes?
Maybe. I think this
Yeah,
year.
we are probably
But
not
not next year.
Yeah, maybe. What are his odds now?
The same as you.
Put a few bucks on Dangerfield.
How about you give away a lot of free kicks? Are you the umpire's favourite, or will that go against
Obviously
you?
not. Harshly dealt by, aren't I? Do you reckon?
Are you a great believer in, often when you're younger, you play the freedom, because you don't fully realise, I suppose, perhaps like yourself, your chances are running out. You play finals footy, so you want to make the most of it. You know, sometimes you tighten up a little bit with that. But often when you're young, you're playing with a bit of a freedom, and you just go out there and express yourself. Are you a great believer in that? Because you come up against a very finals-hardened side in Sydney, yet your team is one of the youngest in the competition. Can that work for you in that sense, do you think?
Well, I hope so. As I mentioned before, there's going to be a lot of guys that run out on Saturday afternoon that haven't played any finals at all. And, you know, I'm hoping they do treat it like any other game and don't feel any pressure as far as the build-up goes and all the talk about finals this week. And, you know, as I said you mentioned Dangerfield and Sloane before as blokes that haven't played finals, but they're mature heads as well. So even though they are young, they can also get around the other younger guys and pass on some knowledge to them. And if they roll out on the weekend and treat it like any other game, feel no pressure to do with finals footy. We've got some outstanding players in our team, and I think if a group of them can step up come Saturday, it's going to be exciting times.